Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be going over a new EDC kit that I made. And in front of you today I have the two previous versions of my EDC bags, survival kit bags, work bags, etc., whatever you want to call them, where I stow away my gear for work and survival. On the left here is the 2016 model which I made. It's up on my channel in another video. I even updated this back in 2019. And this is the newer 2019 kit which I built for work. And now I have a new third kit, version 3, which kind of takes some of these concepts of these kits and changes it up a bit. So let's get these out of the way here and we'll go over the new kit. So this is the new kit. It's the London Bridge Trading drop leg utility pouch. I used it as a medical pouch when I was working on the trail building, and as you can see, it's got two straps here to go onto your belt here or whatever rigging system you have, and a quick release buckle here. On the back you have two straps here to attach to a backpack, which I did have this on a backpack for a time. I had it loaded with a medical kit and a small little SOL Scout survival kit, but I took that out and decided to repurpose this whole kit for a EDC survival bag. And then you have the leg strap with rubber resistance molded into the strapping here, and a quick release belt here with elastic on the side here for your thigh. I found that this kit works pretty well when it's not packed too much, too heavily. I'm still working on getting this kit shaved down a little bit for its size and weight. It's approximately about 4.2 pounds to about 4.6 pounds, depending on what kind of gear I load out in it. Currently it's on the lower end, so it's about 4.2 pounds weight-wise, which is still very heavy to carry on the side of your leg. And for the size of this is approximately about 6 inches in width here on this longer edge here, as opposed to the cutout side. And then the length here is about 6 to 8 inches, probably more on the 8-inch side. And so basically it's a square. On the bottom you have a drainage port. I might cover that up later on to keep this bag a little bit more water resistant, but the idea is to let water drain out if water got in there. But the way I'm using this kit, I'd probably cover that up. Let's begin with the pack here. It's almost finished. It's missing 1 or 2 pieces in it, but I decided to go ahead and show you what I have working on it so far. In the front, I have a small pouch here, which is connected via S-binder clips, which I bought from the store. As you can see here, I'm going to undo that and undo this piece here. And that is my small little boo-boo medical kit. It's on the outside. It's in a seal line small pouch. It's like a money pouch that I got from the store. And I bought a medical kit from Coleman. It comes in a tin can. I just simply set all the items from that tin can in here. So I added an extra few things, like I got a safety pin in there. I got a few more Band-Aids. It's a typical boo-boo kit you'll find in the store that I have in here. So this is my quick grab medical kit in the waterproof bag. Moving further along, I have a small tube of hand sanitizer, which I got a few years ago, and I refill it quite often. It's got a small cap here and a little spray button here, so you can spray your hand. I find that useful for as a fuel source and as a sterilization source, and for everyday carry I just want to be able to grab it, clean myself, and keep moving. So that is the hand sanitizer part of it. And then we're going to get into some interesting stuff which links up later on with the gear that I have in the pack. In almost all my EDC bags, pretty much every one that I make, I always have some sort of solar kit built into it. And this is the solar kit that I have for this kit here. As you can see, this pocket's pretty big and wide. You can put a lot of things into it. And if you don't have a lot of stuff, you can fold this up in the bag here, like so. But I pretty much have this thing packed tightly, which I'm trying to cut down on. Anyway, this is the solar panel. I keep my charging cables. I have a Olight nickel metal hydride lithium ion single charger here. You can buy these for about $9, $10 on eBay. So these are pretty versatile because they're USB powered. Does lithium ion and nickel metal hydride batteries, and either at 4.2 volts or 1.45 volts at 750 milliamps, according to the literature on the back here. So it comes with a little USB cap. So that works with the system that I have here that I'm going to pull out. I have some extra cables from my ham radio, which uses a DC barrel plug, a small one, and USB. I have a ham radio in the kit and it'll charge off of that. And then I have a micro USB, or a mini USB mini rather. I forget which nomenclature you use for this, but it's the smaller kind of USB for my phone or any other items that charge off of that. And then this is a pretty thick bag, by the way, this plastic bag. Came with my solar panel, which is the PowerFilm AA solar panel charger. In here I have two AA batteries, and on the front I have a USB output device, about 500 milliamp output. And then this rolls out into a small little solar panel, which is very lightweight, very thin, somewhat flexible. The literature says don't try to crease these at all. I wouldn't recommend it. You could in a pinch, but I don't think that would be wise. But this is the PowerFilm USB AA solar charger, and it charges in low light conditions very, very effectively. I don't know if you can see on the camera here, but there is a blinking light here, and what that means is that it's actually charging off the lights that I have in the room right now, which is fantastic for low light conditions. In order to use the USB bank, I've noticed in the past, you have to have AA batteries inserted into the device or some kind of connector that completes the circuitry to get the amperage out of the USB power adapter there. So keep that in mind. If you want to use it, you have to have a fresh pair of charged or semi-charged AA batteries. But it's a very small profile, very thin. I chose it for this kit because I have a very limited amount of space in this drop leg platform, and generally when you're carrying drop leg platforms, you don't want a lot of weight because it gets kind of bulky to carry on your thigh. You can do it, you can carry it, it just gets annoying to carry it after a few miles or so. When it's moving around, you have to come up with different systems to rig on your thigh. You have to kind of improvise and adapt. That being said, it works well for this kit because I don't always plan on wearing it on my thigh. The point of this kit is to go into a backpack as a modular piece of kit or a small bag, and in a pinch, if I have to ditch my bag or I have to leave my bag, I can put this on my body and move around. Kind of like with the previous two kits that I built. The first one I couldn't really wear, and the second one I could wear, but it was kind of big. It wasn't as modular as the first one or this one. So this is kind of like the culmination of the first two kits, like the third revision, if you will. So I'm trying different techniques to build survival kits, EDC bags into more practical solutions. Even though they're flawed, it's sort of like a experimentation, if you will. Anyway, back to the solar panel. I use that to charge up my gear, and then I have a small little plastic bag with a lightning adapter to mini USB adapter in it, Ziploc bag. One of the things that I'm missing in this bag, I usually carry a B&C to SO239 connector for my ham radios to adapt them to use external antennas, and a SMA to B&C adapter for the SMA radio that I have in the kit. So that's what I'm missing out of this electronic bag component area. So I'll put this off to the side and we'll go further into the bag. As you notice, also on the outside I have a small little keychain compass and magnifying glass combo. They sell these in the stores for like anywhere from $5 to $10. I got this from Eastern Mountain Sports a number of years ago for about $3.50 or so on sale. It's a nice little device, pretty straightforward. I remagnetized the compass so it is pointing in the correct orientation. As always, when using compasses, you want to stay away from metal objects and magnets and such. It'll give you a false reading. This is just on the outside, so it's a quick grab and pick up and look at, make sure I'm going the correct orientation. So that's why I have it on the outside. I carry a secondary compass in the pack, which we'll see in a little bit here, just to confirm and kind of contrast what I have, see which compass is accurate and which isn't. So, and then I have a third measuring device on my watch here, which has a compass built into it as well. So that is a small compass here with the magnifying glass on it with the carabiner clip, quite useful. On the ends here, as you can see, there's some paracord, S-binder clips, nothing else on the front. I did have a Kamenga Model 27 compass on the back of this for orientation, but I took it off because it was weighing too much. At that point, it was close to 5 pounds, so I wanted to cut back on weight. So this pack opens as a clamshell on both ends and deploys out in such a manner like this. So you have access to a whole bunch of things on the inside. First, we'll go over the knife I have. It's a Elk Ridge knife. I don't remember what the type of metal on here is, but I got it for 11 bucks, so it's not going to be anything too spectacular. So that is the Elk Ridge knife here. It's a small little short one, but it's got a nice handle, nice little grip. I wanted something that I could work with, probably processing small wood, just daily tasks at camp if I needed to. Always carry a fixed blade with you. It's one of the best tools to have out on the trail. If you don't have a knife, I feel like you can't make other tools, and it's one of the best things to have in a EDC survival bag. Unless you're really good with flint knapping and making stone tools, I recommend carrying a knife. It's got a little lanyard hole in the handle here, so you can have it around your neck. The case isn't the best, but it works for the bag here anyway. So that's the full tang Elk Ridge blade. Starting on this end here, we'll start on this side and we'll graduate over here. I have a old Revolt black diamond lamp. It's locked out right now, as you can see by the blinking light, but when you hold it down, it goes on. It has a graduated mode with gradients where you can lower it and make it brighter. You can use either the flood mode or the spot mode, and you can change the brightness as well. The reason why I have this in the kit is because it uses a USB input to charge AAA batteries. So the trick is with this light, it's a 2015, 2014 model, so it's a little bit dated in the year 2020, which it is right now. But you can still charge AAA batteries in here. The thing is with the AAA batteries, you need to kind of cut off the end part of the wrapping of the AAAs to connect with the adapters inside. There's like a little button contact point, and that's how it charges your AAAs. As you can see, I've cut off the ends of the AAA batteries here. These are nickel metal hydride. This will charge only nickel metal hydride batteries, so you want to be careful and aware of that. And sometimes the charger circuitry doesn't always work in the non-proprietary batteries that they have. They do make black diamond AAAs, but they're basically the same exact thing. This is how you use any other kind of nickel metal hydride batteries with the charging circuitry in the black diamond Revolt. So this is IPX4 rated, so it's not submersible, unfortunately, but I don't need a device that's a headlight that's submersible. I have a small AAA light in here that is submersible. So this can charge off the USB cable that I have in my battery pack and my solar panel. Obviously, renewable headlight source of energy, very good to have in your pack. So there's the black diamond Revolt. Moving along, I have a small little tin can from a random vendor that I picked up. I don't remember where exactly. Just a little Tic Tac canister. I repurposed it for a small kit here. Inside I have a nail clipper. I have some safety pins. I have about 15 feet of 30-pound wire. I have a razor blade, and I have about 40 feet of sewing thread. They're black sewing thread, so it's kind of like my sewing kit, and I have a vial in here with needles on the other side. So this is like my sewing fishing kit. I'm still missing some sinkers and a few freshwater hooks in here. So I'm still building it up, but that's where it would go in my bag here on the side. So that is the fishing sewing repair kit, if you will. Moving along, this is one of the more important features of the bag, and I think I might have made it a little too big, but this is a Sour Warheads hard candy container that I repurposed as a fire container. I have some stormproof matches, UCO stormproof matches, and then I have some other matches, regular matches here. I have 4 birthday candles on the inside, and I have a striker pad on the inside, sealed up in a plastic seal there. And then I have a small Bic lighter on the inside here. And as you can see, this little white material here, that's cotton soaked in Vaseline, and it runs from here to the bottom of the container. So I have a source of starting fire. So this is kind of like the little fire starting container that I built and made out of an old candy container. I do recommend these containers if you do get a chance to get the Sour Warheads hard candy. These containers are pretty good for building small little fire starting kits into. I do have a ferrite rod in the kit as well. That's another external holder right now. And then I have about 3 or 4 feet of electrical tape on the outside wrapped around the container. So I have some tapage to use. I do carry duct tape also in the kit. I just thought I'd augment it with duct tape here. So there's the fire starting kit in a little small container. I might downsize that to save a little bit more room in here. Next up, I have a very, very important feature of a survival bag, and that is toilet paper. Just basic toilet paper rolled up in a Ziploc bag. I find that is one of the most important tools to have. It's a multi-use item. Obviously, toilet paper, nothing else much to say about that. Further into the bag here, I have some super glue gel, which I picked up from the dollar store. So I have that in there. It's good for sealing wounds and other applications. And then I have the Sawyer dirty bag for my water filtration system. I have a Sawyer mini squeeze in the bag here, and this is the bag which you collect dirty water in, and it's used to push through the filter to get clean water. And I have the accompanying straw in case I need that for something else in the kit. So that is the Sawyer water filtration squeeze part of the system. Moving along, I have a bottle cap here, which I use in conjunction with most regular size bottles with threads. This is going ahead with the Sawyer mini squeeze. It uses a syringe to put back flush water. I'll go over it later on, but this goes with that kit there. This basically attaches to my clean water bag, and I can back flush the filter and clean it out with clean water using this bottle cap. It's a sports bottle cap from a Smart Water bottle. So Smart Water makes some decent quality bottles to use with hiking and camping. So I have that in the kit here. Moving along on the bottom, I have a Fresnel lens in a Ziploc bag. I always like having extra storage containers, bags if you will, in my kits. Containers are very valuable in a survival situation and even everyday activities. So this is my Fresnel lens on the inside of the bag. I'm not going to take it out, but it's right there, as you can see. Good for starting fires. And then finally at the bottom of the centerpiece here, I have about 5 feet of duct tape wrapped around the credit card. So this is the other taping component of the kit that I have. And this does come in handy. I have used this from time to time. So the duct tape, pretty straightforward. And then I have a Technica wrist compass, which doubles as the secondary compass in the kit to confirm the magnetization polarization is correct, or at least somewhat accurate in my bearings. So I like to keep 2 compasses in my kit, even though there are electronic devices in this kit, which you got to be careful of when you're using a compass. Again, I like having 2 compasses to get a more accurate reading. So it's about 28 bucks on eBay. So it's kind of pricey. This is a non-liquid filled one though, and it's on a needle. So it will wear out and get stuck over time. But other than that, that's why I have it in the kit here. I'll spit that back there. And then on the other side here, I have a small whistle, which I can take off this S-binder clip pretty easily and use as a signaling device. Further down on the towards the end here, I have a ferrite rod with its striker and a measuring device on here in centimeters and in inches, and a little can opener, bottle opener rather, piece on this metal part. I forget which brand this is. I got it off of Amazon in a 2-pack. It comes with a decent striker and the metal piece, so it's pretty good for starting fires, and it's part of the fire kit that I have. And then over here I have a about 4 or 5 feet of just bright red 550 paracord, just general purpose cordage. It's always good to have cordage in your kit. I find that's pretty useful, especially when I'm out on the trail, or when I'm working on the trails anyway. So that is the this side of the pack here. This side's stuffed with a lot more items. We'll go over the top section here. As you can see, I have a Yaesu VX1R radio. This is a great little dual band radio. Attached to it is a diamond, I think it's a SRH805S stubby antenna. This is a tri-band antenna, if I remember correctly. It's 2 meter, 70 centimeter, and 900 megahertz. This antenna is pretty good. I've used it for at least 10 years, and it receives well. I get decent signal reports. I don't want to put too much wattage going through the antenna because it's like a dummy load. So you might cause a lot of heat and high SWR with your radio and possibly break it. So this radio only transmits at about 500 milliwatts on the battery and about 1 watt or 1.5 watts rather on the power supply. Now that cable that I had before, let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. This USB cable plugs into the DC port of the radio, and from the USB end, I can plug it into a USB bank, which I have one off to the side here. And I'll just do it real quick, just so you show you a demonstration of the versatility. So I could turn this on, and now it's running off the USB power as opposed to the battery bank. So I can run this off of my solar kit. Turn this off here. I can run this off a solar kit and monitor indefinitely while the sun's out without draining the battery, which is quite important for a communications portion of survival kit if you have anything. It goes along with the signaling section of my survival kit, which includes lights, fires, signaling mirrors, whistles, audible devices, and radio comms. It's not a rugged radio by itself. It's prone to failure due to water getting into it, so, which is why I talked in the beginning about covering the grommet at the bottom of this bag, just so I can kind of build up the water resistances of the kit itself. Other than that, I didn't have any room for a Yaesu VX7R radio, which is a fully submersible radio, or 6R in that case. This is a very limited space kit, so this is the best option to fit into the case. So it runs off a lithium-ion battery on the inside here. It's got a little clip here. I put a lanyard on it. Great for receiving weather reports, AM, FM, some military auxiliary frequencies. The radio, I think, goes from 0.5 kilohertz to 900 megahertz, I believe, is the receive range. There's some that are cut out in the middle there. You'll have to check the online literature to confirm the exact details of the radio. So that's the Yaesu VX1R, a very small micro ham radio, which I enjoy a lot thoroughly, and it fits this kit perfectly. Moving along, we have some more safety pins. I like safety pins because they're multi-use items. You can use the needles for medical work, or for securing bandages, or just keeping things together without using tape or whatnot. Over here in this section, I have some lip balm, just basic lip balm, nothing special about it. I always like to put that in my kits in case it's like a medical kind of device. It's SPF 15. Moving along, I have a pair of tweezers here attached to the lanyard of my AA battery. I keep it stowed away in the strap here. And then on this side, I have a Bic #2 pencil, mechanical pencil. So I like having mechanical pencils in my kits because I don't have to sharpen the lead. I just click it and it comes out, and it's pretty accurate to write with. And then on this side here, I have a ThruNite TI3 version 2. This is the neutral white variant. It has several different modes. As you can see, it's moonlight first, then it starts into a medium mode, and then it starts into a bright mode. So you have different modes with it. It's a turn twisty AAA light. It's IPX8 waterproof. This is the submersible light that I would use in a situation. It can run various different hours. I think it's like 38 minutes for the high. I think it's like maybe an hour or two for the medium. I don't remember the exact run times, but I have it in this kit because of its size, and portability is important, and its duration in multiple light modes. And I like my neutral white colors, so that's why I have the 309 Ti version 2 in the pack here. I'll try to put that back in there. And packing this kit can be kind of an issue, which is one of the cons I feel like in some of these small kits. Behind the pencil I have some small zip ties, which I keep in the kit. These come in handy for a variety of different reasons. In a quick pinch, if you don't have much time to tie something, you use these and you're good to go. And it's also part of my EDC bag, which, you know, every day I do sometimes have need to use zip ties. On the side here I have a Sharpie thin point pen. Nothing to write home about, it's just your typical Sharpie marker. It's got a finer tip to it so I can write in fine detail if I need to, and I have a rubber cap on the end of it for just as a color orientation. On the side here I have the Leatherman Rev. This was a perfect size. I got this for my brother for my birthday. Great little pair of pliers and wire cutters here. You know, typical multi-tool here. You have knife and other items inside here, can opener, whatnot. Screwdriver set. Comes with a little clip here, which is great for putting in your pocket or mounting on the PALS webbing here on the inside. So that's the top portion of the kit. And this kit has two other slide-in pouches, and that's where we have a lot more stuff. So we're almost done with the kit here. It's about halfway through, rather. I keep a Platypus 500 milliliter water bottle with its original cap. The other cap that I showed before can fit on here. I haven't tested its watertight capabilities, but it should be good enough for backflowing into the filter that I'm going to show you in a moment here. So that is the 500 milliliter water bottle. One handkerchief. I like keeping handkerchiefs in my kit. They're multi-use items. Moving along, I have the medical component, part of the medical component in here with some antidiarrheal tablets and some pain relief, cold relief tablets in here as well. So I keep them in the Ziploc bag, stuff them in there, keeps it organized. Moving along, I have the Sawyer water filter. I have it wrapped in saran wrap because I don't want to get any dirt in the back end here, the dirty end here with the threads. And I have a small little, I don't know if you can see it through the saran wrap, but this is a plastic cap, screw cap that I bought from Home Depot to put on the end to stop it from leaking or anything from getting in there. Like I was talking before, the let me see if I can find that bottle cap. Here we go. The bottle cap would attach to the clean bottle, and you take the cap off the clean end, and you take this end in, and you put it right in there, and you squeeze the bottle, and it should back flush all the clean water through the filter out through the dirty end, so you get all your debris and whatnot out of the filter. So you keep this filter clean and maintain its use and viability in the field. So it's important to have some sort of back flushing system with this type of water filtration system when you're out in the field. You don't want to be out there and not have a way to clean this filter, because you're going to run into problems where you won't get as much water out of it, and it'll be compromised due to the viruses and other bacteria that could start growing inside the filter. Now this is a 0.1 micron filter. I was looking at a Frontier filtration system, which is a lot thinner and smaller in profile for the kit, which would make sense in terms of the size of the kit. But I felt at 0.3 microns, it wasn't worth the space versus taking up the space for 0.1 microns on the filter. So that's why I'm using the Sawyer filter as opposed to like the Frontier filter, which is, I think, like only 40 gallons. This is rated for a lot more than that, probably in the hundreds of gallons. Sawyer products, I've used them for years. They're pretty reliable if you take care and maintain them. So they're pretty good. So that's what I have in the kit here. I'll put that on the side, and then we'll keep going along. I keep an extra Culligan storage bag. This is a little bit different bag than the Ziploc bags I have in here. It's made of a little bit different material. It's kind of like a laminated material. So I keep one in the kit. You never know when you might have need for an extra storage bag. It doesn't take up much space, as you can see. It's pretty thin, lightweight. So that's the extra storage bag there. And here I have a Culligan survival mirror, which I keep in its original package because it has some padding to it. I don't want to necessarily break the mirror in here. although I suppose that this is a more of a rugged type of mirror with material on it. It is made of some sort of resistant glass and reflective material. It has the grid system on the inside of the siding hole, so this is a proper, I would say, signal mirror. So it's definitely something you want to have in your kit for part of the signaling core of the kit, in addition to the whistle and the radio. You want to be able to get help pretty easily. Moving along, I have what I moved from one of my kits, the second kit. I took this out of it. This is a deployable mini shot glass, stainless steel. I got on eBay many years ago for about, I think, like $3 or $4. I have boiled water on it, so this is part of the water purification system that I run. I don't have iodine tablets or portable aqua tablets in the kit yet. As I said, I'm still building the kit, so in place of that, I'm using this. It doesn't boil a whole lot of water, but it's better than having no water. So this is a good container device. Again, I'm big on containers. I think containers are some of the key elements to a good EDC survival kit bag. So it's pretty useful piece of kit, and it's pretty cool when you pull it out. People are like, "Wow, that's a shot glass," and it's a little fun talking point piece, I suppose. But that's your little stainless steel collapsible shot glass. Further into the pack, I have the vial with various different types of needles, each different thicknesses, so I can go through different fabrics and repair them, and for medical first aid use if I have to. It goes along with the kit here on the side, so that's my vial of medical needles. I'll put that off to the side as well. Let's see what else I have in here. Ah, yes. I keep a toothbrush and some toothpaste in my kit. It's not a necessity for a survival kit, but for EDC bag, I feel like it's something that I use quite often. Obviously, I want to keep my hygiene up in the field or when I'm over somebody's house or whatnot. And I do like to have these small little travel toothbrushes in here because they're small and they fit in the kit. And I decided to keep this one sealed up. I didn't need to take it out of the bag, so I leave it in the kit here. Not much else to explain about a toothbrush and toothpaste. I suppose you can use this for various medical first aid utility purposes as well, cleaning wounds and whatnot. But primary thing is obviously to keep your hygiene in order. Moving along, as you see, this kind of fell out. Now that all the stuff's unpacked. This is a CRKT Eaton tool. Obviously multi-use tool. You have different hexagonal keys for this to use. You have a bottle opener here and a can. Oh, this is a bottle opener. It's not a can opener. I do have a flat edge over here for screws possibly, or for prying items and tools. This thing is made out of stainless steel, so it's pretty good. Pretty good little multi-tool. I can use that as an eating tool, obviously, or a digging tool. If to start digging for things, I can use that. It's just a multi-purpose tool, and it fits well in the kit, and that's why I have it here. All right, so that's the first section on here. There's another pouch underneath, which more stuff is stored into. I'm going to take this out. This is my Mylar space blanket. It's a little on the big side, but I keep it in this Ziploc bag to kind of protect the Mylar sheeting from getting scratched and torn and whatnot. Just your basic space blanket, if you will. It's a Coleman's one, so it's not the best quality, but it still does the job. It's my shelter. It's my emergency blanket to keep warm. Obviously, every kit I think should have this in it. It's also highly shiny, so you can use that as a signaling device if possible. So there's a variety of uses for these blankets here. When you're in a survival situation, this can be the difference between life and death, not having one of these or having one of these to trap heat in. So there's a lot of YouTube videos out there to show you how to use these blankets in many different creative ways. So I suggest you look at those videos and pick up one of these if you don't have it for your kit. And I think that's about it for the survival kit so far. As you can see, the kit is a work in progress, but I'm trying to trim down on it. There's some things I think I'm going to do a little bit different, but for the most part, the core set is there. And this is like the third iteration of the EDC bags that I've built, and I'm going to keep trying out. So I want to be able to ideally have a kit that's small, somewhat lightweight, but has enough to meet my criteria and demands in the field, and I can wear it on my body without having to bring an extra carrying device. So this is sort of like the attempt to get a kit like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. And as always, enjoy your day, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.